glad I showed up.
Hey everybody, welcome to the October, September, it's August 29th here at GeekStorm.
235. Episode 235.
I didn't know he was
I'm like,
shouting
just
numbers.
Rounded
798.
numbers being out there.
I was like, it's not
Bingo!
235.
Sold.
I'm like, I got no clue what
Sold.
you're talking about. Hey, today we're going to touch on some Gen Con, some D23, the comic of the week, the toy of the week, and I'm sure there'll be some Netflix news there as well.
Oh.
So Gen Con wrapped up about 2 weeks ago or so. We haven't really talked about it a whole lot. I don't know that a whole lot came out of it this year, if I'm being honest. It set some great numbers.
Yeah.
It sold out 2 out of the 4 days.
Any of the big companies debut anything new?
Pathfinder was by far the biggest. Paizo released Pathfinder 2.0, which is their second edition. And I think they got about a decade run out of their first edition. So it was a good, healthy chunk of change. It was a good long run for how long it went. It definitely, during a time period where D&D had fallen and could not get up, had brought in all of those players and has become synonymous with D&D. Like tonight, Nick is running D&D.
Right, that's what I was going to ask.
But we're not playing D&D, we're playing Pathfinder.
Okay, because in general, though, in the past, just say a few years, have people started to gravitate back towards D&D, away from Pathfinder?
So 5th edition has definitely come on strong.
Okay, and so do you think that's the reason for Pathfinder 2.0?
I think partly, but I mean, Paizo's cranked out material for a decade now, like just everything, and just like Wizards of the Coast did back in the day when they decided they wanted to update stuff. There's stuff that needed fixed. There's stuff that could be done better, and I mean, it's money making, so you got to make something new, update it, and then you can remake all of the other stuff again and start anew.
And for just general audience, we're talking about role-playing games, whereas Coke and Pepsi, they're really they're really two different brands of the same idea anyway.
Yeah.
Just these are our rules and our worlds. Those are and different.
I think the thing that's really helped 5th edition, because 4th edition pushed a lot of players away. I think.
I went from 3.5 running games.
I remember 3.5.
Like a lot of people. I ran it a lot. I played it a lot. I supported it. And then 4.0 came out, and 4.0 was 4.0.
Now, where was 4.0 with Pathfinder's release, the first one? Where was
that? With the announcement of 4.0, because Paizo made, previously to that, made 3.5 content. So they made just stuff for them. They ran Dungeon and Dragon magazine, I believe, or at least one of them.
They took over. By the end, I believe they took over both.
So they were doing all this extra stuff, and then they made at Gen Con the announcement of 4.0, and it was no longer going to be D20 open. We are closing our system. We're pulling all of our stuff from Paizo. So
you're all out of jobs.
Yep.
And in the old days, that would have been like, well, sorry about your luck. Well, because they had made 3.5 an open thing, where legally anybody could use it. They're like, all right. We're going to keep doing this. And by the way, now we're creating our own game based on the free stuff you put out there. And basically, Pathfinder was 3.75. It continued in the direction that players were already going and started adding ripples and complications. It did a power creep that you expect to see in editions and things of that nature, whereas 5th edition has gone in the complete opposite direction. 5th edition is remedial D&D.
So tonight, are you guys playing 1.0 or 2.0?
We are still playing 1.0.
Because it's something you already started before?
Yes. In fact, we're both, right before 2.0 came out, we both started a 1.0 game. So I believe that we're probably both going to go through. Eventually, I'm sure in both those games that pieces of 2.0 will start to filter in that we hear about and we like and want to add to our games to make it improve it. But, we've got some time. So
besides Pathfinder, any other big news from Gen Con?
The biggest news right now didn't come out of Gen Con, it just came out a couple of days ago, and that comes from the update to Savage Worlds, which is an incredibly popular system, and it has did a Kickstarter, and they just got the creator Shane Hemsley and our 2 buddies from Carolina Game Tables in the same room together Jody and Clint Black to sign all the books before they go out. So they got them all together in the same room. Shane's from like Arizona. The Blacks, I believe, are from one of the Carolinas and brought them into, I think, Kentucky. I think they made a meet in the middle. and Tennessee, and had them all sit down and sign all these books. So that's a pretty damn big deal. In fact, the fact that it didn't come out at Gen Con makes me think that maybe things were delayed. Maybe something got snafu because it was so close to Gen Con that it was what? Shipping from.
And this one started out as a Kickstarter?
Yes. Well, most of the
everything's Kickstarter now. Even some of the main.
A lot of them are scams though. We're just trying to get people's money and stuff.
Exactly.
And
they're working
and never pan out to anything.
So
cool.
Those have been
cool.
Those have been popular. And so those are probably. I mean, there's so much now at Gen Con. Honestly, it's just a tsunami of just stuff.
Casey and I only had just a couple hours to hang. We were on our way to Southern Indiana, and we stopped. We walked maybe, and when I say walked, I mean we didn't really shop a whole lot. Maybe a fourth of the floor because it was so big, and we didn't have time.
Did you find yourself able to shop?
No, because it wasn't because of the crowd.
Okay.
There was just so much, and there weren't as many, or we didn't see anyway, as many of the big companies taking up 5 and 6 booth spaces. You know, it was a lot of smaller places.
They've done a lot better over the recent years, I think, of moving the big companies all to the front, so they can block them better, and then have the back part behind it.
Right.
Because Paizo still has a big area.
Yeah, Paizo has a giant
Mayor
corner.
Fair Games has the big area.
I don't like not being able to go like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Which,
and when those big things are in the middle of everything, left or right, and then when I get back, did I come back? Do I go back the other way? This messes with my head.
Which generally now, like I said, because they moved everything, not all, but almost all of the big companies up front, you still can do because you're at the back of big companies' booth and you're just going up and down, and then just to hit those, you can just do the front.
And so finally, personally, did you guys have a good time?
Oh yeah.
I always have a good time, but
how much of your time did you spend, John, running games as opposed to doing the other things that you would like to do?
9 hours. Well, 12 hours.
Out of 4 days?
I spent 12 hours running games, which is by far the least amount I've ever run. I'm finding that as I get older, and I think you've played in games with me where this has happened. My voice, because of the way I talk, and
I'll be honest, it's a Jamaican pirate that really takes it out of you.
In those rooms, especially, you can't be heard over anybody.
Right.
I have bad hearing to begin with, so I compensate by talking louder, and then I try to talk over all this other stuff and get the game across and all that. So I've found that now, I mean, my record was, I think I ran 30 plus hours one year, and now the 12, I was pretty much done.
The other side of Gen Con is, especially on the last day, I'm pretty sure, is the family day. Nick, you've got young ones. So tell me, when do you think you'll be taking, because yours are 7 and 5?
Yep. Man, that's good.
Good.
I'm like, when do you think you'll be taking them, just for a walkthrough through the family part?
We really did consider taking our son this year. We probably definitely will take him next year. That's the thing, just with running games and stuff, arranging it.
Right.
I think he would, at least Owen would enjoy it quite a bit to go through and everything.
My advice for you on kids and conventions, young kids and conventions, is plan for you personally to be that a throwaway day. A day you can walk in and an hour later walk out and not be mad, because you might have to. They may be so overwhelmed, or they may be so interested they want to see every single thing, which can get annoying too, but kids. But they may just be done after a little bit too, and you just have to leave. So do all the stuff you want to do on the other days, and just plan on that day being whatever he wants or they want.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to see and do. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And Gen Con has really stepped up with the kid stuff.
Yeah, and your kids are totally immersed in the games anyway. So, but they have to understand too, this isn't all video games stuff too.
Let me tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
So the other day, I go over, and I always show up early. I'm a GM, and also, Nick's my buddy. So I like to show up early and just hang out. And I hang out with the family a little bit more than the other players. I know the kids pretty well. So I get there, and I'm introduced to a new board game that Fiona? Mila, sorry. They're twins.
Right, sure.
They're the same
They're
people
interchangeable.
as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
So Mila sits me down, goes, okay, we're going to play my game. And they've taken all the dungeon tiles that he's printed, I painted, and made their own dungeon.
Nice.
And then taken all his miniatures of all like the bigs, like a unicorn and
sure.
a gargoyle thing, and like big whole game. They're all in the middle. Now we're all going to play these other little monsters and go in and save the big monsters and get our pets out.
Sounds good.
And then, I mean, it's just like, it was like running a game with me. So now this dice is the most overcomplicated crap in the world. I'm like, wait a second, you sound way too much like Uncle Sean right now. Now this dice dice is your movement dice. Now this dice is your fight dice.
That's strong, man.
The one you've taken flies. Okay, so how does flying work? It doesn't really matter. They still always walk. And it's just on
They
and
can't
on.
fly.
They're in
They
dungeon.
just don't feel like it.
They're in dungeon. Low ceilings.
So it was a good 15 minutes of explaining the rules.
that's cool.
And then we didn't get to play.
Well, Nick's doing it right.
There
Nick and
was-
Lauren are
there
doing
was
it right.
homework.
That's for sure.
So-
Segueing out of that into just another type of game, World of Warcraft Classic launched
15
on
years.
Monday. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, besides the 15-year anniversary, which is another thing.
So did you jump on and play?
Oh yeah, I played.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually got. Okay, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I've been in and out of Warcraft for 12 years or so, and the last year or so I've got back on, but only to not to keep up with the. Right now it's level 120 is the max. Not to keep up with that stuff because I feel like it's so much work to keep up. I got to do dailies. I got to keep up on dungeons if I want to be raid ready. And I don't raid. I don't go in with a 25-man group anyway, so it's not that big a deal to me. I've been going back and just going through all the old lands and restarting new characters. You can start. There's 8 different races and 10 different classes. So quite a combination.
Yeah, a lot of different combinations. You do that.
And then you got the horde side too. So you've got so much to do.
Go Horde.
Yeah, Locktar Rogar. So I've enjoyed starting from scratch with characters and going up, and that's exactly what Classic is. Classic is they went back specifically to the 1.12 version of Warcraft, and everything is really, really hard. I mean, the monsters hit harder. You don't hit quite as hard. There's no flying. There's
No mounts.
there's not mounts until if you can afford a mount is 100 gold, okay? But if you've got 100 gold, you're rich. All right, in this game anyway.
Okay.
Like I got up to last night. I finished out at level 18 on this new character that we just started on Monday, and after buying skills and things I need, I broke 1 gold. I was up to 120, and then I had to buy some stuff that I didn't realize I needed, and I'm back down to 40 silver or something like that. So to get 100 gold, now you're going to be level 40, I believe, to be able to get a mount, but you're going to have to really, really hit it. There's a whole economy and all that stuff. I don't want to get into that, but it was cool in that Blizzard wasn't sure what kind of reception it was going to get, and they did test patches and stuff and what they called stress tests. And so at first they started out with I think 10 servers, and then after that they added up 2 or 3 more. But they tell you on the list of servers when you want to get on, they tell you, well, this one's full, this one's highly populated, this one's medium populated, this is low pop. But they also tell you whether it's just regular PvE, whether it's PvP, which is me versus you, whether it's role playing, or whether it's a combination of any of those 3. I jumped on one that was role playing, and only because I know it's going to be a low population server, low compared to all the ones that are full.
Sure.
And people don't really role play on World of Warcraft. Very rarely do you
Well
see it.
met, good sir.
I saw one well met, and I saw 2 little people talking to each other in that type of thing. Other than that, they were talking politics, and everybody's playing Warcraft. It's trolls and whatnot. So,
Gotcha.
but that's the key is knowing that the people that were on the popular servers with all the YouTube streamers and stuff like that, they had 2 and 3 hour wait queues to just log in. I walked right in at 6 o'clock and started playing.
And I was killing stuff.
I was killing stuff. I was wolves and trogs and all kinds of stuff.
Boars?
Squirrel?
Well,
3
crag
XP?
boars.
Crag boars, I'm sorry. 3 XP in the woods?
Anyway, that was a lot of fun. And Warcraft in general is 15
Have you
years.
seen the commercial?
Which one?
There's a Ronda Rousey Hodor commercial.
No.
They've done up this big commercial for it.
For the 15 years?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
Ronda Rousey's been all dressed up like she's the she-warrior. I believe it's the guy who plays Hodor.
Christian Nairn.
Is big dude.
Yeah, he's
I think
big.
he's in there. They've got a bard singing the whole tale
cool.
of what's going on.
Who's
There's
bard?
a bar room. I think it's someone famous, but
Okay.
honestly, I only caught a little bit out of the corner of my eye while something else
It's
was
not a
going
Jonas
on.
brother, is it? Is it a Jonas brother?
No, this looks
thank
like
goodness.
somebody that's involved in something. So I don't know.
Somebody
But
involved in
check
I'll look
it
it up.
out.
I will.
And I think you'll find it fun.
They did have, on Twitter anyway, they've been putting little video segments of people talking about their 15-year journey and, people that met their spouses or people that met their best friends and all that kind of stuff. But one of them, they found the original Leroy Jenkins that he's on there, and he's all in costume and everything, and he's like, 15 years, blah, blah, blah. He does the whole thing. It was pretty cool.
So one of the things I saw is that because in a Classic you couldn't skip the text, right?
You can't, right.
Yeah, so
can now.
And it's, they added it in?
Yes, you can
Okay,
now.
so, because I saw, like, there's
You
videos
pick up a
of...
quest and it pops up, but it's a blank scroll, and all of a sudden, you need to go to this, and it takes like 5-6 seconds for it to finally...
You can read way faster
Then I can accept it, they've changed that.
Oh, so...
Well, it's not old school then.
Yeah, because I saw there's videos of people standing in queues in lines to get quests. Because can you not just multiple people just bombard that guy and get the quest?
Yes, if you're in a group, and say a group of 5, and Sean picks up the quest, then we all pick it up. But there's not that many people to group. Also, if there's an item, you need to pick up that light stand. Everybody needs to pick up that light stand. In a perfect world, and on my server anyway, people got in line because it despawns once you pick it up.
Man.
And then they have to wait for it to spawn again. You
So
despawn.
to log in and virtually stand in line.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, there's videos. Somebody showed me one the other day. It was like, we were just like a line of Warcraft characters, and then like...
It's crazy.
We heavily played Star Wars Galaxies before he jumped over to World of Warcraft, and I really love that game. But I don't remember stuff like that. Like everybody could go up to a terminal and get their own personal kind of thing. Like, I'm going to go out there and kill some meat buffs things.
Now, all the stuff that we're talking about, though, was day 1, hour 1, 2, 3. I mean, now, today, you can walk up and do whatever. Actually, 6 hours later, you can walk up and do whatever.
So they saw the problem, and they were like, okay, you can click through stuff?
No, it's just that you have millions of people all wanting to do the same thing because everybody's starting out at 1, and you have a 1 through 5 area where everybody there's it looks like you're standing in a Colts stadium or something, which is not what it's called, and everybody wants that football. But tomorrow, that all these people are gone because they've already moved on to 6 through 15 or whatever, and so you can do it if you want to.
Interesting. All right. Well, so check that out. Very cool.
It's fun.
Hey, Comic of the Week, sponsored by Comics Cube.
What?
Batman and Superman #1, The Hunt for the Infected has begun. So, quickly, there is an evil Batman from another universe who killed the Joker.
How do you tell the difference?
Finally killed.
How on earth do you tell the difference?
Because he's this creepy, he's sadomasochist-looking kind of.
I meant in general, like personality-wise. How do you tell the difference?
Oh, it's the Joker and Batman combined.
Oh.
And he wants to see the world burn, kind of a thing. And so the idea is that in whatever alternate reality that he hailed from, the Batman finally kills the Joker. When he does it, the Joker has placed some kind of weird Joker poison in his heart. So when it stops,
he sneezes.
He sneezes, and it gets into Batman's stuff and infects him. And so eventually, basically, Batman on that world wipes everyone out.
I see.
It's nasty and evil in 2019 kind of a
So Batman becomes the Joker, essentially.
Basically, yeah, they're a combination of the two. So in this, he's finally gotten to Earth, and he has started to cause some problems. And the idea is that he is now going to infect a handful of people with the same kind of stuff and make them all nutty crazy.
And that's available at 121 East Sycamore.
Yep.
Comics Cubed.
Probably sure that.
It's like the big first.
Comics Cubed. Nice.
So that's the first big hero that's been infected.
Nice.
So 121 East Sycamore, Comics Cube.
Where are we at today?
Wednesday through.
Did we even mention where we're at today?
Wednesday, 11 through 6.
What? You don't even know. You don't even know what your shop is.
We're at 111 East Sycamore in the heart of downtown Kokomo, and one of the key points of Geek Street, Kokomo Toys and Collectibles, who have provided today's Toy of the Week.
What is it?
This is Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Spirit figure from the Black Label line, Black Series.
What's that go for?
He, it doesn't have a price on it.
No, $20? $19.50 today. I'm calling it. $19.50. I just gave a 5% discount.
You didn't. Didn't I? I don't think you did. But this one's kind of cool because he's got a little bit of sparkle stuff added to his paint to make him the Spirit Force version, which is much cooler than just making him just like transparent.
I've always disliked the ones that were the Force Ghost ones that were all just like
transparent.
We
blue.
saved a whole bunch of money and going to charge you double.
Yeah, this is pretty cool looking, based on the original Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Sir of some sort.
Which
Sir Alligatus.
Sir
Alligatus.
Which Obi-Wan has other news.
But there's the newer, younger, faster, stronger Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's a hard segue, and I didn't like it.
That is hailing out of D23.
D23?
The 23 standing for the year that Disney created stuff, I guess.
Is that what, I didn't know it stood for.
I had no idea what it stood for.
D23 Expo is the name of the thing. I don't know what it
Where Disney comes out and basically does their Hall H version just for their material. The D is Disney. The 23 is 1923 is the year that Disney incorporated or did something.
Interesting.
So that's where that comes from.
Steamboat Mickey came out? Or?
Well, a lot of news coming out of D23.
Man.
A lot of news.
They actually must have held back from
They did,
Hall
because
H.
we're only a month or so out of Hall H.
Yeah.
And Marvel did have some news, and I don't know that Disney Disney or Star Wars had a lot of news. But for D23, and we'll skip all the other stuff in D20. You don't want to care about cooking shows and stuff like that. They were really pushing their
Wait, there's
Disney
a cooking
Plus.
Show?
Yeah, there are cooking shows on
is
D20
it
on Disney Plus.
Cooking with Jar Jar?
No, it's not.
Blue milk recipes?
No. Okay, I want to tell you both something right now. There are going to be other things on Disney Plus besides Marvel and Star Wars.
So why would they not put that on their Hulu side?
I don't know.
That just seems weird. Like, why would they just keep...
That's ridiculous, but that's not
Okay.
the point. Back on target.
I saw there is a...
Give us your first thing. Let's talk about this.
Okay, the first thing, they showed a Mandalorian trailer. Now,
Man, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of new
Holy
footage
crow.
that we didn't see in Celebration last year. So, and the news that it's going to be, they give the release date, and that Mandalorian is going to be the first thing on there on Disney Plus.
It's what's going to kick off
Yeah.
the whole. It goes live, I believe, with
Yeah.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time.
Did they
in
say
a
whether
Galaxy.
it's just going to be launched in all the episodes, or they're going to release?
They
both
might have
one
said,
week?
I don't know.
Okay.
They did say that for one particular other show that I'll tell you, but as far as Mandalorian, I don't know if it's all going to be dumped or not.
In that thing, did we see? And I can't pronounce the guy's name. The director of Thor.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika
Waititi.
Waititi. Did they show his droid?
Yes.
And so what is his? Oh, he's IG-11.
IG-11.
He did. He said that, but I don't remember actually seeing him. So I need to
He
go
was like
back
in the
and-
middle of a town
Yeah,
and
he's like
spinning around,
fire.
shooting and
Yeah.
stuff like
All right, I
that.
need to rewatch that then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the director of Thor
Sure.
is IG-11,
Right.
Which I think is just really, really cool.
Yeah.
Plus, that guy's got personality for days.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
If it's one of those things right now, if I got to, hey, who can you have lunch with? If you get to have lunch with somebody famous, I think it's him.
That'd be pretty
just
cool.
because I think he's going to be fun. I don't think there's going to be a bunch of pretentious crap. I think he's just going to be an incredibly fun guy to.
I just read yesterday he's
have a
getting
meal
cast in
with.
Suicide Squad also.
Really?
As what I don't know.
How often do you see directors become actors?
No.
Because he wasn't an actor before.
I don't know which was first.
Was he?
What we do in the shadows.
He's fun.
Was he in that? I know he directed it. Was he in it?
Yeah. He was like the main.
Oh, that's right.
Oh. Yeah, he's the main guy from that show that
God.
they couldn't hear.
Mike.
He's not mic'd.
I don't
In
know.
the shadows. All right. So
Anyway.
either way, so that's pretty cool. Looks beautiful. The budget is like
It's
$1
$10
million.
million.
Yeah, man.
It's $10 million an episode.
10 million
That's
an
what they
episode.
spent.
What?
That's
How
what
many
they spent on Game of
episodes?
Thrones. 10, as far as I know.
So $100 million budget to do this show.
Right, and it's already they've already they're starting on season 2.
Season 2.
It's a
so
thing. Season 2
we've
is
got.
Okay, we got to move along. We're gonna run out of time. They did show
It ends when we say it ends.
the thing that I didn't like about this particular thing is it wasn't streamed live. The only time you could stream it live is if you got somebody in the audience that was doing it.
Actually streaming it?
Yeah, and-
Illegally streaming it?
Yes, and the one guy I was watching that did it on the TV day, he would stream it and stream everything except when they put something on the screen. He didn't want to get in trouble, so he put his phone down when they did. I heard the audio of what was happening on the screen. So they showed a What If trailer, and you got to hear Jeffrey Wright's voice as the Watcher, which was cool, and you got to hear everybody oohs and ahs. But they did show a still from it, which was Peggy Carter as Captain Britain, and so I assume that would be the What If Peggy got the super soldier serum instead. The thing that they did release that I didn't know about this series is there's 23 episodes, and each one is centered around one of the movies that we've already seen.
Which makes sense based on what people know.
Right.
But in the greater theme of the Marvel Universe comic book stories,
Right.
crushing.
But
Really crushing.
I know, but you have to give if you're building a universe, you have to stay in that universe. And now, if they do other stuff that's animated that's not part of the MCU, that's fine. This is part of an alternate MCU thing, so they need to give people a what ifs about things they're actually familiar that they know that they're familiar with. They don't want to alienate somebody by saying, what if Scarlet Spider had done this or that, because he's not in the MCU. And also
Not now.
that show is going to be weekly. It is going to come out weekly. That's the one.
And are they hours long episodes?
As far as I know, they're half hour.
Half hour. Wow. They're
Wow.
going to try.
23 episodes, half hour weekly.
Man, that's
It's a lot of episodes.
it's
we
a lot of
get that,
episodes, but yeah.
The next little tidbit that came out was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and those guys were on stage. They also brought out Wyatt Russell, who's one of my favorite young actors. I mean, young, he's probably 30-some, but he's Kurt Russell's son, and he's been in some stuff that I like. He's going to be playing John Walker, who ends up being U.S. agent. I don't know if that'll happen in the series, probably will. but that's a popular character, and I really like that actor, and I'm looking forward to
I
seeing
do like him quite a bit. He's been good in a couple of things. I think the last thing I saw him was he was in Operation Overlord.
Yes,
And
Overlord.
I
He was in
enjoyed
Overlord.
him quite a bit in that.
He's on something on AMC about a weird kind of a Scottish Rite type of cultish, whatever those things are called, clubs, social clubs, and it's funny, but also it's got like a weird mystical, mysterious thing to it too. I can't remember the name of it. I'll look that up.
The other thing I saw from that is the still posters they're showing show Winter Soldier all cleaned up, shaven, haircut, not focusing on a metal arm. But in everything we've ever seen since he fell in Cap has been that shaggy, long hair, gristly look.
The White Wolf.
This is very much
Goes back
cleaned up, pre-war, during the war kind of a look for him. So
Well, if you're gonna hang out with Sam Wilson, okay, you gotta be on your A game. Okay, you can't be all you can't be 39 Ronin Keanu. You've got to be like Matrix Keanu. Okay, that's how it is. 39 Ronin is not the right number. It's a different number, I think. 30 Ronin, 49 Ronin, 41 Ronin.
23 Ronin.
Anyone?
Very close.
Then we had two really big items for the TV day. One was these three new series that we didn't know anything about.
Yes.
One is Miss Marvel, which is the Kamala Khan character.
she's quite popular.
Yeah, very popular. The other is Moon Knight, which is also very popular.
Which they didn't say anything else about Moon Knight, did they?
No, only that it is Mark Spector. That's the only thing they delved into. They said Mark Spector, and that it's going to be PG-13. So if that disappoints you, I'm sorry.
I know a lot of people were when they said guy from Game of Thrones.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington.
That's on tomorrow's news, Nick. See, this is why I don't like it when people come in here because I've got a set. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I saw a lot of people saying that speculating he was going to be Moon Knight, and I was like, well, that's horrible casting.
Yeah.
I was like, please don't let it be true.
But the guy, I mean, the actor that's going to play this character, he just has to be able to. I mean, the guy's he's schizophrenic, so I don't know why he doesn't like Kit Harington.
I don't think Kit Harington.
Okay.
I mean, I've never seen him cleaned up, right? Isn't in all the shots he's always scruffy and
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I just
all right.
Not what I envisioned.
Nick doesn't like him.
I don't.
I love
like
hearing Moon Knight.
Sure.
A lot of us want Moon Knight. We
Right.
wanted him on the big screen. We wanted him on Netflix. We're getting him over here. Very excited. Moon Knight is going to be the easiest one for them to screw up and to tick off all the fans. Because what I'm afraid that's going to happen, and just a gut feeling, is that instead of an action-adventure, supernatural kind of a thing, which is what it should be, they'll have all those elements, but then they're going to heavily play up the mental stress and duress that he's under from
Because
being
that's cheap.
schizophrenic.
It's cheap to shoot.
It might be cheap to shoot,
They
but
can't
it's
spend $10 million
also
on it. They're already doing
it's
that on
just
different
it's just going to be annoying in a way. Like I don't think they're going to show it in a fashion that's going to do anything. I think they're going to do it to be, edgy.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Understand.
And it's like he didn't start off that way.
Right.
The Moon Knight is very much, in my opinion, the Shadow done for Marvel Comics, whereas he played 3 different kind of characters initially, and all of those characters were the Shadow and his minions all rolled into one guy playing the same part. And then action, adventure, supernatural stuff. And then throughout the years, they've added this schizophrenic / just crazy mental, and then sometimes going so far as to just a complete nut job that isn't defined by any of the classic psychological conditions, just flat out crazed loon beating the hell out of people.
Right.
So I'm wondering if we're just going to get crazed loon beating the hell out of people, and then we'll slap on some kind of classic tag.
We'll see.
And
Do you think Moon Knight is popular enough that they will just jump in and not do kind of a backstory thing, and we'll just get the kickoff? But I mean, he's never been done on screen.
I think you have to do a backstory for him because nobody knows who he is except for hardcore fans.
It's not like Spider-Man or Batman where I don't need to see those parents off again.
He's got a great backstory. I mean, he's a mercenary. Starting off with, he's just flat out a mercenary. And in the year 2019, that's still something that fans can understand and get behind, especially because a lot of his stuff comes from the Middle East with the whole Moon Knight kind of Fist of Khonshu, pyramids, temples, that whole thing. So I think that there's a lot of room that they can play with to do that up and do it right. It's just a matter of whether they'll take the time to do it. But we'll see. I could very well see the very first episode, him doing mercenary stuff, getting involved in whatever, getting trapped in whatever, and then taking on the mantle like he does in the book. I can see some straight takes from it, and I hope that they do. I hope they lean closer to that and maybe some Bill Sienkiewicz style material, but we will see.
The final piece of Marvel news on there was She-Hulk, which is something that's been talked about for a long time. Unfortunately, it's been a thing where maybe the CGI hasn't been there yet, or the funding hasn't been there yet, or the belief in a female character hasn't been there yet. But I think we're there now, obviously, and it is live action. We're not talking about something animated. So I don't know how many episodes or anything like that yet, and they haven't even sniffed at casting yet that we know of. But those are all things that are towards the end.
They could drop and surprise you like January 1st.
They could.
This was really exciting. There's a lot that they could do with this, and what I'm hoping that they're going to do isn't going to be a standard kind of thing. I am hoping that we see what's been done with her for the last 10 years or so, where Jen Walters is She-Hulk. She doesn't change back into Jen Walters.
Right.
That's problem one.
Right.
Is almost all these times, we bought big name actors.
Right.
Masks are always coming off. They're always somewhat in costume. We can always see them.
Yes.
But the way that the best Jen Walters She-Hulk worked has been forever. She doesn't turn back into Jen Walters except for every once in a great while. She is She-Hulk.
Right.
She chooses to live as She-Hulk. So one, CGI nonstop every scene she's in if they go that way.
Right.
Second thing they've done is she's not just a straight up action adventure thing. She is an action adventure comedy character now who works in a law office.
Right.
It's Ally McBeal meets the Marvel Universe.
There's a reference I assume
I thought you were going to say Ally Law, but
I am not going to lie to you. I've never seen an episode of Ally McBeal in my life.
I was like, that's a really weird.
Think she's a lawyer, and I was waiting for Mike to correct me.
she's a lawyer.
She is a lawyer, but
The only thing I know about Ally
if
McBeal is there's a creepy baby, and the guy from Dragon Slayer, I think, is a boss or something.
I don't know.
But I was like, I'm going on a limb with it out there.
She-Hulk and Ally McBeal are parallel in their
because
lawyer
it
part.
was a comedy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I
All
hope
right.
that's what we're going to see.
Yeah,
Just
I think
a
we'll see
comedy
it
action adventure thing.
So you want an updated Ally McBeal?
Well, I'd have to see regular Ally McBeal first.
I don't know how much they're going to spend on this.
Isn't she married to Harrison Ford?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
The thing that gives me
Close to
hope about
Flockhart.
this is in Avengers Endgame when we saw Professor Hulk and the Mark Ruffalo face of Hulk. That was amazing. That was Mark
Really
Ruffalo.
good.
You could see him. So if they get an actress and they, make
They
her
do
wear the
that version
suit
to her.
all the time and they just bulk her up a little bit, make her taller and all that, I think it'd be fantastic. It just depends on if they're going to spend that kind of money or not. I can't see them finding
They just
a great actress that's going to be statuesque like that.
They're just going to go classic Lou Ferrigno.
They might.
Spray
They
paint
might.
her every day.
The final bit of news, the TV on the TV side for Disney Plus was Obi-Wan gets his own series. There he is, right there. Except it's not really him.
This is Sir.
Yeah, Sir Alec Guinness. And
I don't think they can get him now.
Ewan McGregor came out on stage.
Trust me, they
Place
could
went
at
wild.
this point.
Been talked about for a while, but now we have finally confirmation that he's going to do
grandkids
it.
will
So
celebrate.
we're good. What?
They brought Kennedy out and did the whole.
I don't know who Kennedy is. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy. Yes.
Really, it's sad that you don't know who the.
You said
person
Kennedy, and
running-
I thought MTV VJ. That's what I thought when,
Wow.
when you said Kennedy.
starring in the new She-Hulk. It's the Ally McBeal finding to it.
Oh, we're just going complete throwback with She-Hulk,
Super
are we?
excited about that.
Two more items.
Can't wait for
the actor that
you
he
and
hates. Kit Harington is going to be the Black Knight in
Yeah.
the Eternals when we get to the movie side the next day. And although he wasn't on stage, they showed all the Eternals and they showed all their costumes up behind him. That was pretty cool. Not a great look because it was so far away and it hasn't been released other than people's iPhones, as far as I know. But looked cool. Everybody was there. And then finally they showed a trailer for episode 9, which released on Monday, the day after, maybe 2 days after. And it was pretty cool. I'm not positive that the dark Rey that we see with the double thing, I'm not positive that's Rey. I think that could possibly be Rey's mother because her face just looks just different enough to not be Rey to me. That's just a theory. I have no inner knowledge.
It's
Yeah.
okay. We talk theories here, so it's okay. You're allowed to go on that.
I think-
I've seen all sorts of speculation with that it's a forced dream of like what could be if she, making choice.
I think at the very
or-
least she's the daughter of Palpatine. That's what I think.
The thing that I'm having trouble with is the title. I'm having trouble with a couple things. It's the Rise of Skywalker. Is it the Fall of Skywalker or Rise of Skywalker?
Rise.
So Palpatine is not a Skywalker.
that you know of.
Well, he made Vader. Okay? He manipulated the midichlorians in Shmi to make Vader. To make little Anakin.
I knew that was a...
No,
Is
that's
it
not a
actually,
theory.
it actually confirmed? Okay,
Yes,
I
that's
knew
exactly.
he was one of the... There was one of the... I didn't know realize it was Palpatine. I thought it was Palpatine's master that had that ability.
You mean you're talking about the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Well, that's
Plagueis, that's right.
that's not it. Although he did master death and life and death, but no, it was Palpatine who manipulated the midichlorians.
Right. So I still don't know that the Skywalker name. I don't know how that works out. That's a little weird.
I don't either.
The biggest problem I have though is that in a 2.5 to 3 hour movie, they've got to somehow make any of this make sense and come together. And we look at all these other.
End it.
Oh yeah, we have to look at all these other trilogies, and by the time we got to a third movie, there was a pretty clear line of what was going to happen. When we got to this last Avengers movie, we had a clear line of what was going to happen.
We didn't know how to get there, but yeah.
I still don't really know if Finn's a good guy or a bad guy or where his allegiance really lies.
He's kind of a big deal.
I don't know what Rey's about, really. The only one I've got a key on is, Kylo appears to be a bit of an asshole. None of the characters have been really, I think, defined incredibly well. And so now it's all of a sudden, it's like, Poe Dameron's about the only character I actually really, really like out of this whole new thing.
See, and
he's the one that I think that's been used probably the least.
I like that things are ambiguous because New Hope was great, but you knew these are the good guys, these are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And so they had to sustain that over 3 movies. These are the good guys, these are the bad guys. This is what the bad guys are doing this time, let's go stop it. This is what the bad guys are doing this time, let's go stop it. This trilogy, it's tough to call it a trilogy because one wasn't all put together at the same time, but you don't know who Rey is. You don't know you don't know what Rey is. You don't really, and Kylo has been back and forth a little bit. Then they're working together. Then they're fighting again. Yeah. So that to me is at least a little more entertaining, and just for me anyway.
I could have seen that over 2 movies, but by the end of the second movie, I think we should have had a better cohesion.
So, like,
of
going
what
into the third movie, it is the climactic.
Whatever. I don't. At this point, I don't know what they're climaxing to. I'm like, I don't know what. I have no clue what the big end is supposed to even be. Mm-hmm. It's not like in the other one. It's like the Empire has to fall. The Empire has to fall. Palpatine has to be destroyed. Vader has to be stopped. In this one, I'm like, I don't know who has to be stopped. I don't know who's going where.
As long as there's not a big, giant Epcot-sized space ball that we have to destroy, I'm fine. I'm going to enjoy it.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to go to the movie and see it. It doesn't really matter. But I'm just like, I would really like there to have been more out there.
I'd like there to be... I mean, we still got plenty of time, but I assume there's going to be one more kind of big trailer that actually kind of gives us maybe... I hate trailers that give away everything, but I need...
We haven't seen TV trailers yet.
Yeah, they're a trailer that gives us a little something of direction.
We'll see.
Other than, because I mean, both trailers have come out are both almost teaser. They're both the first one was a teaser trailer, but this one's just...
I would hope for a Poe Dameron TV series at this point. Something with him would have been cool. The whole X-Wing squad or whatever squad kind of thing.
He might. He's a great actor, and he's making the movies that he wants to make, but he's not like killing it at the box office either. So he might do that.
I would like to have seen him do that. So there you go.
Okay. Just in case you're wondering, hopefully Mike gets the names right this week, because last week you had my name under Nick's thing. Oh, I didn't realize that. He was in disguise. Well done.
And if you want to buy a Star Wars Black Series
$19.50.
Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Spirit.
$19.49.
I actually know that's the price, by the way.
Oh, all right.
I keep saying that.
If it's $20 on the shelf, I'm calling it $19.50.
You pick that up at Kokomo Toys and Collectibles at 111 East Sycamore. Or check out Batman and Superman at 121 East Sycamore at Comics Cube. Don't forget, the Kokomo Con is coming up Saturday, October 12th from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
I can't wait.
Thanks to our sponsors, Hotbox Pizza, and a couple other people, but those ones we're giving the shout out today.
Nice.
So there you go. Also, finishing up, want to point out that Geek Street has passed out the first Geek Street Scholarship, and Isabel Eisenman has been the winner of the inaugural scholarship put together by Comics Cube, Kokomo Toys, and Jason Van Hackey's Kingdom Cards and Games.
Nice.
So congratulations to
How much
Isabel. It was $500.
$500? That's a lot.
She's a sophomore going to college, and so this one isn't the Comics Cubed Excelsior Scholarship goes to a senior in high school going into college, and they have to go to college next year.
Right.
The GeekStorm Scholarship is far more open to just about anybody, and you just got to show that you have some geek prowess.
I'm going to put in for it.
So there you go. Well, yeah.
I'm going to go to cooking school.
I'm on the board. Denied. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to bedclothes making school? Well, in that case, approved.
We're going to talk about that next week.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. Be groovy. We'll see you next time here on GeekStorm.